everyone, and welcome back to episode 23 of So Now You're a Teacher. I am your host, Liesl McConchie, international expert on brain-based learning, author, teacher, and mom of three who wishes I had $1 million to give to every teacher and every parent who's also a teacher right now for Teacher Appreciation Week. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week, teachers. There is not enough that we could do to thank you for what you are doing. What you're doing right now. And because I don't have $1 million, instead this morning, I totally Zoom bombed my son's Zoom class with his teacher and just like threw confetti stuff to just like celebrate for a minute. I don't know how to appreciate teachers right now. I mean, there's just so much to be grateful for. Anyway, thank you teachers and parents. We're doing great things. Hey, there's a lot of talk these days about the impact of social distancing on our health, our physical health, and our mental health. And so I wanted to jump in here for a quick episode and just share what I understand, what I know from the research as to what is the impact on social distancing or social disconnection when it comes to the brain and learning and our overall health and things like that. So I'm going to try really hard to stay in my lane here and not like we could get political here. We could also talk about how this impacts things like school shootings. And I'm just going to stay really, really narrow here in my lane and give you information, give you what I know from the research, and let you make your own decisions and how you go about applying this information for you and for your family. So the question we're going to answer today is, what is the science behind the need for social connection? So here are two people right here. They are currently They are currently socially disconnected. So we're going to briefly talk about the main impacts of social disconnection. So the first area we're going to talk about, my son destroyed this whiteboard pen this morning, I forgot. So we're going to first talk about the impact of social disconnection on physical health. I'm just going to give you like the one sentence Cliff Notes version for the sake of time. And if you want more information, let me know. Or there's a whole chapter written about this in my book, Brain-Based Learning. You can find it on Amazon. But so for our physical health, social disconnection, meaning like we feel excluded, we feel rejected, we feel teased, we just don't feel connected to other people. So I'm talking specifically about your children in school, your students in school. That literally causes physical pain. So social pain causes physical pain. They're literally registered in the same parts of the brain. And there is very substantial research that shows that taking a pain reliever, like a Tylenol, relieves the feelings of social disconnection. And so that's how connected our social brain is to just like our physical health, how the connection between the brain and the body are connected. You know, they talk about the brain as being, or the whole gut-brain axis. Okay, we're not going there. Stay in my lane. Here we go. Physical health, it impacts us because social pain causes physical pain. So, emotionally, when we are socially disconnected, it causes more stress, it causes more anxiety, we're more prone to things like depression. Why? This is what people are talking a lot about right now. Because when we're socially disconnected, it does release more levels of cortisol in the body and in the brain. And so it is a real thing that we're feeling the stress for a lot of reasons right now. And one of them is, one of the reasons why we're getting a little extra boost of cortisol is because we are missing out on a lot of the connection between people. Outside of the ones that we're in the same house with. So that's the emotional impact. And then, of course, with this channel, of course, we have to be talking about the brain. That's the brainstem right there. That is Wow, one interesting looking brain. Okay, so social disconnection, how it impacts cognition. Well, social disconnection, it reduces neurogenesis. Now, neurogenesis, we haven't talked about that in a very long time, since one of our first episodes. But neurogenesis is the production of new brain cells. It happens every day. And there's things that you can do to accelerate the production of new brain cells. Things like proper sleep, specifically exercise is huge. That's when we talked about it, I think, is when we were talking about movement. But neurogenesis is really important from a cognitive perspective because one of the main areas where neurogenesis happens is in the hippocampus. And that's the region of the brain. Going back to our brain, that's the region of the brain right in here in the inner part of the brain, the limbic system, that is highly responsible and relates to short-term memory formation, and learning. So it's a really important part of the brain that we'd love to have some extra support with. So having more brain cells in our hippocampus is a great idea. So being disconnected, socially disconnected, reduces the neurogenesis. And so it just gives us less brain power in areas that we'd really like to have some, especially as we're desperately trying to do some learning while we're at home. So those are the three main areas that I'm familiar with in the field that I work in as to the importance or the costs of social disconnection. So when you look at the flip side of that, and I got cat pens flying all over the place. So what happens when we are socially connected? What does social connection do to our physical health, our emotional health, and our cognitive health? Here's the quick breakdown. And again, this is not like something that I'm making up. Everything comes from like credible, peer-reviewed academic journals that I read. And if I read it once, it's not enough. I have to be able to find multiple sources of really solid research to support this before I will ever share it with anybody. So for physical health, and you probably read some of this stuff in like general articles that are out there, but yes, there's very strong evidence that support that having strong social connections, those friendships, they make us physically healthier. Like we are healthier when we have strong friendships. It impacts our happiness, and we live longer. Not only are we healthier, but it like extends our lifespan. So in terms of the emotional part, it helps to manage our stress levels, our anxiety, depression. We feel a lot more safe whenever we're in a space where we're with people that we feel connected to. And then of course, on the cognitive side, the area that I focus most on is when students feel socially connected in a classroom setting. It improves their attention, they pay attention better, they're more motivated, and they overall achieve better when there are strong social connections in a school setting. So that's why stay in my lane. It's really important. So in this setting that we're in right now, what the heck do we do when we're all locked in our homes? Do we just like break free and say, we got to get out of here? I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. I will just say that there are ways within quarantine for us to still maintain social connection. And so find ways that you are comfortable with, that align with how you are interpreting the guidelines from your mayor, your governor, the CDC, whomever you are listening to and trust. But it can include just like FaceTimes, getting your kids on some FaceTime dates. I know they're clunky. My kids are trying them, and like my 4-year-old wanted to he's had a couple with some of his preschool friends, and it's clunky, but it's healthy, it's good, it's worth the clunkiness. Doing those drive-bys, staying distance, getting the beach chairs in the driveway, staying far away but still connected. We have a whole Zoom classroom set up for just that the parents run in our class, where we just text each other. It's like, hey, Dane wants to do math worksheet, blah, 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 blah. Anybody like have a kid that wants to jump on and do it with them? So they jump on Zoom and they do some of their homework together in that way. All the things you're seeing online, people playing cards together. You can bake the same recipe with, your kids can bake together with other kids, with their friends. There's so many options out there. If anybody has like a great resource, like I'm sure someone's blogged about this, feel free to jump and throw it in the comments wherever you're finding this on any social media platform and share that with us, because we don't know how long this is going on and the waves that are coming back. So this is like a new skill set that we can develop. But it is important for us to stay socially connected, and there are ways that we can do it and still be safe. So that's what I got for you today. Hang in there, everybody. Take a deep breath. Oxygen is good for the brain. All right, everybody. See you later.